Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about our 2011 vintage of our Solana tempranillo. Tempranillo is a variety which hails from Spain. It's planted quite widely through most regions of Spain and into Portugal. And it's certainly the most famous of the Spanish red varieties. And Rioja is probably the wine region which most people associate with tempranillo. Here in Australia, certainly the Geograph wine region and around here in the Ferguson Valley, there's a lot of interest in tempranillo. It seems to be a variety which is working particularly well here. The traditional wines from Rioja and other parts of Spain were often very earthy and very secondary in their characters. They just tasted a lot of earth and leather and sort of dried sort of cedar wood. And that was largely because they used to age their wines for a very long time in the barrels, not so much because Tempranillo isn't a fruity sort of tasting variety. Having said that, it is still quite a variety which does promote earthy complexity as well. But, the wine's named Solana because it's planted on the sunny side of the hill, and which we had Spanish people working here in the early days of Willow Bridge, and they were glad to see that. They said, oh, they were glad to see that we'd planted our Tempranillo on the Solana, is how they referred to it. So we adopted the name for our Tempranillo when the vine started to produce. So this is a wine which I think the main character which I associate with Tempranillo from our vineyards here is cola. I get a real aroma of like cola, really, like a can of Coke type cola or something like that. And that's what each year I really get that on the nose. And I think that's a regional character. Before our vines started producing, we were buying in some Tempranillo from a neighbouring vineyard, and that wine had that same cola-like character as well. So on the nose of this one, I get a little bit of pencil shavings, which we don't use any new oak in the Tempranillo. We find it doesn't really suit new oak, the style of wine we're making and the fruit characters. We used to use a little bit of new oak, but it just dominated the wine. So I think the old oak character which we get here is the pencil shavings and a bit of sort of cedary sort of wood. And then dark cherries and a lot of dark chocolate on the nose. And then some sort of interesting spicy sort of characters, maybe some chicory, all sorts of interesting spices. And then I'm getting like a earthy, tarry, like a hot bitumen sort of character as well. On the palate, it's really juicy. It's like it's quite mouth-watering actually. It gets a lot of like really fresh berries of cherries. Yeah, I think cherries probably the main sort of fruit character. And then I get some sort of smoked meats, like dried meats. In fact, that's making me think that quite Spanish actually. I'm thinking of sort of various, tapas bar somewhere in Madrid or Barcelona where you just go in there and they've got the ham hanging from above the bar and slice them off and make you some tapas, some smoked meats. And then it's quite a tannic variety and it has a real dry sort of nutty tannin finish and a twist of acid, a little bit of citrus acid on the finish. And I think that it's a wine that really, it's not a wine we make to sit around and drink glasses and glasses of on its own. It's a wine that we make to go with food. So please get yourself some nice tapas, crack a bottle of this and enjoy.